So now let me try to explain you. This is a kind of tunnel which has large crores and crores of large number of footballs, and they are tightly placed. Okay, there is no gap in between. Whatever gap is there, it is because of the geometrical construction. Otherwise, every football is touching any other football. No football is free. Okay, so when a free electron, or in this case, let's say there is a pebble, a very small, tiny pebble or speck of dust, because of the wind, the direction of wind is like here. It will try to move in this direction. It will collide. Will collide. Okay. So its motion is, you can say very, it's kind of a zigzag motion. It doesn't have a straight line path. It is getting, it is changing its direction after every collision with the atom. Sometimes there could be collision with other molecules as other speck of dust also. तो कभी कोई एक पार्टिकल ऐसे मूव कर रहा है इधर ऐसे आके, and there could be collision between the two pebbles also, speck of dust also. So this motion is completely zigzag. Okay, but whenever it is free, whenever it is not under the influence of any other force, this wind will always try to drift it. See, it will try to drift it in this direction. Even between two points of collision, let's say this is one point and this is second point. The particle came here, then it was going in this direction. So this duration, which is very small, it is under the influence of force that will try to drift it in this direction. Okay. So apparently, if you look at for a very small interval of time, you will find that there is random motion and there is no net motion of speck of dust. But if you take a large interval of time, you will realize that the speck of dust which were initially at this section, after some time they have reached this section. That means they got drifted. The passage was not smooth, it was completely random motion. Okay. So finally it reached here. But there is a drift. The drift is governed by so many other factors. We will take that up separately. Is that clear? So the motion, if you look at motion of a charge carrier, so here your charge carrier is initially. So this is an electron. In the case of conductor, free electrons are the charge carriers. Your electric field is towards the left. The force that it will experience, and as a result of that, drift speed that it will acquire will be in the opposite direction that of the electric field, because electrons, they are negatively charged. तो उसका path ऐसा है, zigzag path है. Every time it bends, it is under the influence of some kind of force. This abrupt shift in the direction at this point, it is because of the collision. This is also what, under the influence of some force. एटम के अंदर जो न्यूक्लियस है, न्यूक्लियस पॉजिटिवली चार्ज है, वो उसके पाथ को स्ट्रेट लाइन नहीं रख रहा है बिटवीन द टू कोलिजन ऑल्सो. यहाँ और यहाँ जो कोलिजन हुआ है, एक यहाँ कोलिजन हुआ, एक यहाँ कोलिजन हुआ, उसके बीच में भी दिस पाथ इज नॉट स्ट्रेट लाइन पाथ. इज दैट क्लियर? So this is what has been covered in this slide.
सर लिखना ही है?
हाँ लिख लो, अच्छा रहेगा,
ठीक
बाद
है
में
सर.
काम आएगा तुमको. So whatever you have learned till now about Ohm's law, is only partly correct. The actual statement of Ohm's law is the one which is relating the microscopic parameters, which is J and E. What is J? J is current density and E is the electric field. Okay, तो आपने पढ़ा होगा V is equal to I by V is equal to IR और R is equal to V by R, जो भी आपने पढ़ा है, ठीक है ना, वो ओनली पार्टली करेक्ट है. एक्चुअल सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ the parameters, what is cause and what is effect, what is dependent variable, what is independent variable, that we will see in this slide. ठीक है ना, बहुत देखने में मैथमेटिकली एवरीथिंग इज सेम. V is equal to IR या I is equal to V by R, or you can say R is equal to V by R, whatever they, you try to write the Ohm's law. Mathematically they may be correct, but physically in terms of the cause and effect relationship, the cause of electric field or the cause of current, that you have to understand. Okay, so you will realize after 2 or 3 days कि ओम्स लॉ का सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है. ठीक है, तो इस स्लाइड के अंदर हम लोग रिलेट कर रहे हैं करंट का. हमने एक्सप्रेशन देखा है, ठीक है, एन क्यू वी डी ए, ये अभी हमने डिराइव किया था. यूजिंग दिस रिलेशनशिप वी विल ट्राई टू फाइंड relationship between current density, that is current per unit area, this is a vector quantity, okay, J, which is nqvd, the direction of current density J is same as that of the drift speed. Okay, so when you do certain manipulation, you get that mathematical readjustment, you get that J is equal to sigma E. What is sigma? Sigma is the conductivity of the material. This statement is actually Ohm's law. Is that clear? आपने J मतलब करंट डेंसिटी, तो आपने पढ़ा है I is equal to delta V by R. Delta V is potential difference across the two ends of the conductor, और उसकी रेजिस्टेंस अगर R है तो डेल्टा V by R, तो cause of current is delta V. Is that clear? Cause of current is delta V, but actually it is not. Okay, the cause of current or current density is electric field. And sigma here represents conductivity, which is inverse of the resistivity. Okay, so this was the actual Ohm's law. Okay, then based on this, materials are classified as ohmic and non-ohmic. So those things we will see later on. Now you can write down this slide.
हो गया सर.
और नीचे करो।
सर 2 मिनट
और बाकी है। I'll send the sheet, don't worry. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा 3 मिनट बचा है. Let me explain this next sheet as well. This is the relationship that we are trying to find between resistivity, length of the conductor or the resistor and its cross sectional area with the resistance. ठीक है, तो अब ये देखिए, ये एक केस है. आपने एक छोटा सा सेक्शन लिया जिसकी लेंथ है L, ठीक है ना, और इसका क्रॉस सेक्शनल एरिया है A. And let's say you set up an electric field E. Because of that there is current I, and J is given by I by A. VB, VA, these are the two potentials. So what is the potential difference between the two ends? VB minus VA. So for this situation, if you wish to find out what is the resistance, okay, we'll make use of this relationship. Potential difference is equal to EL because E is potential gradient. Now what is E in terms of Ohm's law? डेल्टा V बाय L, हमने पहले तो यहाँ पे सब्स्टिट्यूट कर दिया ये वाली पोटेंशियल ग्रेडियंट E की जगह पे, right? And J is given by sigma E. Sigma is conductivity. Okay, this relationship we have just seen in the previous slide. और J की वैल्यू तुमने सब्स्टिट्यूट कर दी I by A. आ रही है बात समझ में? So this is Ohm's law, and this E is replaced with potential gradient, and J is replaced with I by A. So when you solve these equations and rearrange them, you will get potential difference as L by sigma into times J, and J is written as I by A. So this is your what? This term is IR. So resistance is given by L by sigma A, and 1 by sigma is nothing but resistivity. Inverse of conductivity is resistivity. Okay, so this is purely a mathematical representation to find resistance of the wire. What is resistivity and what is the relationship? What are the values of resistivity for the entire range of materials that are available with us? You can see that there will be few materials which will have very low values of resistivity. That means they are highly conducting. Then you have some which are, let's say, quartz or sulfur or rubber. They are very poor insulators. They are very good insulators, poor conductors. So their resistivity value is very high. Ideal conductor will have zero resistivity, and an ideal insulator will have infinite resistivity. The commonly used conductor in the heating elements, that was in the old generation of bulbs, जो element होता था, that was made of nickel chromium alloy, because it had a, although it is a conductor, but the alloy is such that it has a very high value of resistance.